Boom, boom, boom. How's it going, everyone? It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with a bit of late transfer news for you. A bit of a late night shift for me tonight. Just popping on here before bed anyway, just to chat a little bit about the major breaking news that is being reported currently on Sky Sports and various other major sources. That Romelu Lukaku is on his way via private jet to Milano, where he will be completing a medical, and pending, I guess, terms and things like that, final T's crossed and I's dotted, then he will soon be an Inter Milan player for somewhere in the region of believed to be £77 million. So pretty much everything that we paid for and maybe even a little bit more. I want to just talk about how the transfer fee will be structured apparently. So he's on his way over there. His agent, Federico Pastorello, posted an Instagram image of himself on the strike on a private jet, as you can see here, with the caption that says, "Ready to take off, direction Milan," and the location set at Brussels Airport. So obviously Romelu's been a bit out of sorts recently. He leaked some training information, some training stats from United's training session, which made Luke Shaw look like a right lazy mug. And obviously not too many people happy about him actually leaking that. You can understand it from the club. Inside the club, it's not a good look. So yeah, I think that it's probably a good time for Romelu Lukaku to move on. He had a decent time at United when he first came in, but let's be real now. He's been bang average for about a year now. Barely could hit the side of a barn door if he was standing in front of it. And he used to be a very experienced Premier League striker, somebody you could rely on to score goals, but it just didn't quite do it for Manchester United. I think he'll do tremendously over in Serie A. He's going to have his work cut out for him even getting into that team. So, you know, he is a big physical player, so I think he'll be a big player for them. Inter Milan obviously are a team that are trying to rebuild, but they will probably relish the opportunity of seeing Romelu Lukaku in such a shirt. So, good signing for them if it happens, but £77 million in the sack. Come on, my son, get in there. Do you know what I mean? We've got some serious money coming in, and what does that mean? It means United need to go out there and we need to sign a proper player before the transfer window shuts. Somebody like Bruno Fernandes, who everybody keeps going on about. There's a reason people are going on about him, because, you know, he is a quality player. He is going to get you goals, and I think it's fair to say that, you know, we should absolutely do our most to sign him. And Ed Woodward, unfortunately, seems like he's just going to sit on his freaking gold cushion as per usual and do sod all before now and the end of the window. Maybe having a few streaming issues here, lads and lasses. It does say video output low. Hopefully I'm coming through not too bad, although it may well be. So apologies if I am coming through a bit poorly, but there we have it anyway. Everybody who's tuning in right now, do us a favour, get a like on this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on, you know, what you think about Lukaku's potential move to Inter Milan. Do you think that's a good move for him? Do you think that is a good move for Manchester United? Because obviously, if we're not going to strengthen before now the end of the window, we could probably do with Romelu Lukaku. I know Ole Gunnar wants to play a certain way. He wants to play with, obviously, with pace in behind the defence. Players like Rashford up there. I think Greenwood's going to be seen a lot more of this season. And then, of course, Martial has been favoured by Ole Gunnar in pre-season as that sort of striker. So it's probably a right time for Romelu Lukaku to move on. I personally won't really miss him. I know that's harsh to say. When he came in, I was over the moon about signing him because he's a quality player, proven track record. You're talking about somebody who scored 20-odd goals a year in the league. But just never really did it for Manchester United. Good luck to him. You know, seems like a nice bloke, or you know, training statistics leaking aside. He does seem like a decent guy. He's obviously a good player. His record for Belgium's insane. His record for Everton previously was great. He'll go over in Serie A, play for Inter Milan, and do absolutely fantastically. It's a league that will probably suit him down to the ground. He's a big physical lummox. He's not really, he's not really cut out for the high tempo of the Premier League, I don't think. I think just a half a second bit more time will suit Romelu Lukaku down to the ground. Plus, he's just a big, strong unit. He'll get a bit more time on the ball. It's a good move for him, and obviously he'll be paid very, very well indeed. So there we go. What do you guys think about it? Romelu Lukaku looking likely that he's not going to be a United player anymore. Obviously, this could fall down pending a medical. I'm not sure if terms have actually been agreed, but the fee between Manchester United and Inter Milan has supposedly been agreed, which is an initial 65 million quid with 12 million in add-ons. So it's a 5-year deal for Lukaku. I think that is an absolutely great bit of business for United to recoup basically all the money that we got from him. Okay, some of it is down the road, some of it is not obviously right now, but 65 million, what does that mean? That's a little cheeky transfer kitty for Bruno Fernandes, isn't it? Or somebody quality to come in. And do you know what? I'd love to see Manchester United sign a couple of players in this transfer window before it closes. But I really don't think it's going to happen. I just think that United are really going to do well to just get one quality player in over the line. Like Bruno Fernandes, let's all just celebrate the fact that he is a good player and he would add something to United's midfield. At this stage, with such little time left, anything less than £150 million offer from Paul Pogba, I wouldn't accept. I think we do need Paul Pogba this season now, based on some of the shoddiness we've got in the centre of the park. I know Pogba's not the most consistent, but he's probably better than Fred, isn't he? He's probably better than Matic, isn't he? So just that alone makes me think we should do our utmost to actually try and keep Paul Pogba now, and then add somebody to it. So Bruno Fernandes playing in front of Paul Pogba, playing in front of McTominay, for instance. McTominay and Pogba quite mobile. That sounds a lot better than Static Matic or Fred, in my opinion, who I haven't seen anything good from really in a United shirt. I think he's just a squad player at best, but I hope he can do it for us. But yeah, I mean, I think that would be absolutely amazing. That really would be fantastic to have Bruno Fernandes in front of those two. I know Pogba doesn't necessarily like that role. He likes a more advanced role. He likes more of a free role, perhaps. But that's where I see him best fit in if we were to get a player like Bruno Fernandes in there. I think I've got a bit of a dodgy ass stream going on, guys. I don't really know why, because it should be absolutely fine. I'm on the Ethernet cable. Maybe Virgin Media are doing some sort of maintenance work. I think that's probably the best case scenario anyway. Yeah, it sounds shite then. This stream sounds pretty shite. Sorry about that, guys. I was hoping it would be a decent stream. They've all been pretty reasonable recently, but, you know, Virgin Media obviously are doing some maintenance down the road. I'm going to go down to one of those electrical green boxes down the road, see if I can't give the old man a cup of tea and a slap. Do you know what I mean? Tell him to sort his game out and get my friggin' internet back on. Yeah, I mean, I was going to do a full-on, 15-20-minute video here, but if it's absolutely shite, maybe I'll just jump on in the morning and talk about it a bit more then. But yeah, I mean, let me just read a few of your comments out, actually, guys, as soon as you've all jumped on here to get involved. Alex Rudd says, do you ever sleep? LOL, very, very rarely, my friend. Very rarely. That's not true, actually. I'm a pretty lazy bastard, mate, to be honest. If I don't get my full-on quota of 8 hours a night, I'm not a happy bunny. Mr. White says, sup, what's up, Mr. White? Good to see you in here, pal. Fun guy, hello, everyone. Thankfully True says, hey, how you doing, Thankfully True? Nice that you commented and you're in here. Ryan Ladd, the pig has awoken. Indeed, it's only 20 to 1 a.m. at the moment. It's 12:41. It's not that late, is it? What are you, a bunch of freaking 12-year-olds? You've got a curfew, have you, of 10 o'clock? Anybody who stays up past 12 is seen as some sort of a lunatic. Rudd says pastorello sounds very Italian. It does. It literally has pasta at the start, and rello's pretty freaking Italian sounding as well. RB Comp says, hey pig, shout out to you, lad. Kevin Green, hope we get Bruno tomorrow. I hope we do as well, Kevin. Thanks so much for getting involved. Yeah, it looks like we're having a good bit of lag on this video. That's the way it is. Can't do much about it right now. Shoddy connection, lads and lasses. There you go. Super chat from Alex Rincon, who comments and says, we need more signings. Good to see you, Rinks. He says, need more signings. Absolutely, we do. There's only less than a day left of the transfer window. United, if it closed right now, with just having signed Harry Maguire, having signed Daniel James and having signed Aaron Wan-Bissaka, it would have been good. It would have been improving our starting 11, but it would not have been nowhere near good enough. United absolutely need to get some deals in over the line. We're getting mugged off by the likes of Spurs, maybe getting Dybala, also got Ndombele, good player. You know, what are we actually going to do between now and then? We do need to get Bruno Fernandes. I think that something will happen. I'm feeling optimistic this transfer window. I really do, because I think Ollie needs all the help in the world. I think the board know that the fans are not really going to be truly satisfied unless we do really improve our starting 11 with some sort of a creative, exciting, experienced player. We've added a bit of good quality youth there, and we've added Harry Maguire some experience coming to the best period of his career at centre-back there, which is huge, but now we need to add some goals. We need to add some creativity. We need to add a bit of flair. We need to add a bit of experience. We need to add a bit of bottle. We need to add a bit of bollocks. We need to add a bit of freaking class. And that is what somebody like Bruno Fernandes can do. I think, anyway, based on what I've seen. But who knows? He could come to United and be an absolute flop. But I'd like the opportunity to find out. I'd like it if our board actually did spend the money. It sounds like we've got money coming in. I know we just spent a lot out on Maguire, and maybe we'll be looking to recoup that. But I think that we should 100% try and spend that money on Fernandes and invest in this squad. Invest in Ole Gunnar's team. Give him a real chance. Fernandes adds you goals. He adds you assists from midfield. He scored 31 goals in 50 games in all competitions last season. That's pretty insane for any sort of a midfielder. Thank you very much for your comment there, Alex Rincon, you complete hero. The Azamir comments, please stop mentioning Bruno, he ain't coming. Well, you know, I was just merely talking about it from a who I'd like to see come in point of view. But yeah, I mean, I don't, you know, am I really expecting Bruno Fernandes to be announced tomorrow? I'm feeling optimistic about it, but it's 50-50 for me in my head, and that is really optimistic, because what has actually happened today, you've seen a lot of movement, you've seen a lot of players being tapped up, you've seen a lot of interest from clubs in certain players. Deals are on the off, deals are happening left, right and centre, different teams, different players. But we haven't seen anything about Sporting, except in the bid for United. We haven't seen anything about medicals. We haven't seen any plane journeys on private jets like this Romelu Lukaku deal. So, I don't think that's really that realistic either, mate. I'll be totally honest with you. But I want it to happen, I do. F. Yes Hernandez comments, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can't attract any players. LOL. Well, I don't know about that, mate. I mean, we've attracted pretty much the best young right back in the league, 21-year-old Aaron Wan-Bissaka. We've also attracted Harry Maguire, who is England's centre-back. He's obviously a very good player. So I think that we can attract players. Manchester United is such a huge club. It doesn't really matter who's the manager. A lot of people are still going to relish the opportunity to play for Manchester United, because at one point in time, at least, we were the dominant force in English football, and we were the sort of face of the Premier League. I mean, now, obviously, it's not as big an attraction to play for as it was a few years ago, but it's still Manchester United, and it's still a big step up from Leicester City. Sure, we might not necessarily be able to attract players who are playing for teams like Real Madrid or Bayern Munich and things like that, who offer them Champions League football and win trophies regularly and all that sort of thing, and playing with absolutely fantastic squads. But we do have a good team. We have got a place where some people can grow, and we can offer opportunities to players who are maybe at this moment in time not at that level anyway, and are trying to get to that level. And that's sort of what we want. We want hungry players. We want players who play for Sporting Lisbon, where it is actually a step up to play for United in the Premier League. We also want people like Harry Maguire, where it's definitely a step up for him to play for United compared to Leicester City. And it's definitely a step up for Daniel James, definitely a step up for Aaron Wan-Bissaka coming from Crystal Palace. So I like what we've done in this transfer window, signing these sorts of hungry players who are rising to the occasion, who are having to step up. And we're going to see the measure of these men and what they can actually do very, very soon indeed. Obviously, first game of the season is against Chelsea on Sunday. I will be doing a match companion for that, so make sure you keep a lookout on the channel in regards to that. Just going to read out a few more of your comments at the end here. Ale01 comments, Forza Inter, fair play to you, lad. Hope Romelu Lukaku does make his way there. Nothing against Romelu, just think it's not worked out for him, although his goal scoring rate's not actually that bad at Manchester United. He'll probably go and smash it at Inter, he really will. So good luck to him, but he's just one of those players I don't think complements the way we want to play, not the right fit, and doesn't suit Manchester United's style that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is trying to achieve. So it makes sense to move him on. Wakas Akram comments, what new player in the midfield for United would you like, Mr. Pig? Well, I've just spoken about that a moment ago, but I would reiterate, and a lot of people have been saying it, but if you're talking about somebody who's exciting and creating and a goal-scoring midfielder, which is something we've lacked for a little while, I know Pogba bangs in the penalties, and he does get a few goals here and there, but he's not a real, true goal. He's not Frankie Lampard, is he? Whereas God, I said that a bit too affectionately, didn't I? Frankie Lampard. Anyway, he's not Frank Lampard, and Frank Lampard was that goal-scoring midfielder. He was that player who, from midfield, could get you 20 goals in a Premier League campaign. And if not that, then he guarantee you get 15. So that's what we could possibly have in Bruno Fernandes. 31 goals in 50 appearances in all competitions last season for the lad from midfield. Shows you the measure of the man. And people say it's only Liga NOS. It's a shite league. They've got some good teams in there. They really do. Sporting and Benfica and Braga and teams like that. They're very good teams. It's a good league. It's not as strong or as deep as the Premier League by no means, but it's still a good indicator of what he could do in the Premier League. Even if he achieves half of what he did at Sporting in a red shirt for United, it's still a pretty decent return, and it would have still been worth getting that money in. Kevin Green comments, will we get a Lukaku replacement tomorrow? Yeah, I mean, I think so. I don't know, actually. Probably not, mate. Probably not. Let's be real. We're probably going to get a complete melter. Maybe just an up-and-comer young